So I finally played the Mass Effect trilogy. It's been months since I made my last video. I finally decided to make a video on the Mass Effect trilogy. I've always wanted to play these games, and now that I got the chance, these games are amazing, and I want to share that experience with you. I've been planning on making a video these past few months, but to be honest, I found myself becoming less interested in making the videos I wanted to make. I wanted to review Nier Automata, but in reality, I found the game to be a philosophy college student's dream, but not mine. The game's art style and music are very unique and amazing, but the story of life having no meaning will make a meaning out of something. To me, it was really lame. The other game I wanted to go over was Tales of Berseria, which I found to be a more fun experience than Nier Automata, and I loved the characters. In fact, in this video on Mass Effect, you'll find out that the character interactions were the best thing I experienced from Mass Effect. Both these JRPGs aren't bad games, not at all, but I feel like they don't even compare to Mass Effect. Let me share with you my newfound love for these Western RPG games and the story of Commander Shepard. Spoilers ahead for Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3. I just wanted to start this video off by saying that Mass Effect's combat is honestly lame in my opinion. I didn't know what to expect, but the moment I started to play the second and third game, it reminded me of Racevik's old videos on these games. Mass Effect 2 and 3 are a product of their time, being third-person shooters released very early in the Xbox 360 and PS3's life. It means edgy and bland graphics, including an unnecessary vignette around your screen and chest-high walls that are destined to be covered. It also means linear corridors everywhere, making firefights ridiculously predictable. The gunplay just isn't all that interesting, especially when you're playing as a highly trained N7 operative, yet my SMG sprays an insanely uncontrollable pattern all over the place. The most amount of fun I had was only in Mass Effect 1 with the lift and throw biotics. Oh my goodness, the 2007 ragdolls in this game were amazing. But in Mass Effect 2, I played Infiltrator and just used invincible cover where AI can't shoot me, shoot my enemies, then go back to cover, cloak, and shoot my enemies, rinse and then repeat. Mass Effect 3 was more interesting as I played as a Vanguard, but I only played the game on normal, meaning that it was fun biotic charging everyone, but I would either die in the process if I was too reckless, or I would kill everyone with the scimitar shotgun. It was fun, I guess. Well, there's so many more aspects that make Mass Effect so good. One of the things I love about the games, and what makes it so wondrous, is the galaxy map. So cool. You never see this kind of interactable map in a mainstream sci-fi game. It's really amazing reading aspects of different planets. I'm a nerd for these kind of things. What I am not a nerd for is scanning for minerals in Mass Effect 2 and attracting Reapers with scans in Mass Effect 3. It was a great concept at first, but really annoying when I wanted to complete every side quest. The Mass Effect games are really short if you don't do all the side quests. I want to make an interesting analogy in terms of both story and gameplay. Mass Effect 1, to me, is like Kingdom Hearts 1. Both games are first entries into big franchises, but both have similar aspects. Clunky controls, but to me there's a charm to them. They're ancient in gameplay, yet not really that detrimental, and you can still play them. But the thing that I love about Mass Effect 1 and Kingdom Hearts 1, they both felt mystical, or wondrous, I guess. You're introduced to the world and the setting for the first time, and it feels just amazing. Then later entries come in, and they completely slap you in the face with everything you thought you knew, which is fair in developing a world, but these later games, I don't know. They arguably have better gameplay and combat, yet their stories, well, especially Kingdom Hearts, they're just full of weird story decisions. I'd rather play the first games. I still feel very disappointed by the fact that exploring barren worlds with the Mako did not return in Mass Effect 2 or 3. I hope that made some sort of sense. I don't know, that analogy was weird. I don't know if that made sense. What? Mass Effect 1 actually felt like an RPG with changing armor, weapons, putting mods on those weapons, even though you got the same damn piece of gear every locker you open. But, you know, the graphics aged, the UI isn't that clunky, but the sorting system is terrible. But it still has a charm to it. The latter two games felt like more maneuverable Gears of War. I guess that's what disappointed me about Mass Effect 2 and 3. Sorry if I glossed over Mass Effect's shooter gameplay so fast. They just weren't that great in my opinion, but I wouldn't replay the game for that. Honestly, if I ever get to replay these games in the future, it will be for what makes Mass Effect great. The squad mates and the story. You see, I love science fiction, I love learning about aliens, and I like shooting said aliens in the face. I love the world building, I love the technology, I love the aesthetic. Mass Effect has all of that going for it. minus the aesthetic. The second and third game really lose Mass Effect 1's clunky but funny looking retro armor. I love games with a good story and good characters. I just mentioned Nier Automata and Tales of Berseria earlier, but the Mass Effect games, just the interactions with your squad mates and the choices that you make, it gives me purpose and a mission to accomplish, knowing that I have these people by my side. I don't want to fail them, and I don't want to fail the whole galaxy. You know, the conversations are awesome. Like, for example, in Mass Effect 2, if you bring Tali and Garrus will ask Tali if she missed the elevators from the first game. Tali gives a hard no to Garrus. I liked all the squad mates from the first game, including Ashley and Kaidan. I romanced Ashley, and after playing the third game, I'm pretty satisfied with the arc between Shepard and Ashley. Kaidan's cool. I did sacrifice him on Vermeer though, because I like Ashley more.
You love it. Now get over here.
Garrus, man, what a great guy.
I'm Garrus Vicarian, and this is now my favorite spot on the Citadel.
He's always got your back, he's meant to be likable, and he has great interactions. It also helps the fact that since he is a Turian, you really learn to appreciate the discipline of their culture from Garrus. When you see Palaven fall in Mass Effect 3, it hurts because we have someone to connect the planet with. Tali, innocent nerdy girl who becomes really capable in the second and third games. She is an introduction to the coherent race, and she's amazing for that reason. I especially like the fact that her face is kept hidden, and her updated design 2 and 3 is awesome. I like that cloth or veil that she wears, it really makes her special. It also helps that in gameplay she's really helpful with her AI hacking ability. Rex, my man. He's our first true look into the Krogan race, and while Rex is at first very closed off initially in the first game, he becomes one of the best characters in the entire trilogy. He's tough and he's prideful, but he's got the skills to back it up. Krogans are scared to fight, but when Rex is on your side, things aren't so scary.
Most of the energy is released in the form of high-speed neutrons. This radiation is instantly lethal to any known form of life within 500 meters.
Nah, just a pleasant afternoon in the sun for a Krogan.
I love that. That's he's hilarious. Last but not least is Liara Tassoni.
Having a bad day, Shepard?
I actually like the character more in Mass Effect 1 because, I don't know, she's like Tali. She's a lot more insecure in herself, but she proves herself to be capable in the second and third game. But once the second game rolls around, she ends up being extremely mature. Too mature, in fact. I don't have much to say other than I find her voice actress delivery of lines to be purposely boring that it fits her character, if that makes sense. It's her tone, but I really like it because sometimes she seems so deadpan sarcastic. Now, those were all the Mass Effect 1 squad mates. As soon as I started playing the second game, Mass Effect 2 really made me not pay attention to the story as much as I wanted to. It legitimately felt like side quests the game. In the beginning of the game, Shepard dies, your ship, the Normandy, gets destroyed, and then like 30 minutes later, Shepard's rebuild, which isn't really explained other than lots of money and resources, and you have a bigger Normandy. And you're working for Cerberus, who apparently lose all of the awful things they did in the first game, if you did the side quests. I don't really feel anything like the status quo has changed. Cerberus is an awful organization, and I just hate the fact that so many parts from the first game just don't come into Mass Effect 2, like Anderson and Udina, the Council. In Mass Effect 2, you fight mercenaries, mechs, the art style is meh. What I'm getting at is that I expected so much from a sequel to Mass Effect 1 that, I didn't realize how different Mass Effect 2 was going to be. The only squad mates that carried the story for me were Miranda, Jack, Grunt, and Legion. Tali and Garrus too, but only because they were in the first game. I really like the dynamic between Miranda and Jack.
Touch me and I will smear the world with you, bitch!
And their different relationships with Cerberus. Grunt is an excellent introduction to the Krogan on Tachanka, like Tali, and even like Dane. Legion introduces us to the Geth. Using they/them pronouns, Legion shows that not all of Geth are evil robots, but are genuine sentient machines. My only issue is, why is Legion introduced so late in the game? Who made that decision? The other squad mates really were lackluster in my opinion. Jacob sucks. Thane is an assassin and he's cool. His recruitment and loyalty missions are interesting, but I'll be honest, I didn't get much out of him. I found Samara interesting, but to me, she has the Liara aspect of her voice, being barely emotive even when she's actually expressing her emotions. But unlike Liara though, this is a part of her character that I just did not like. I just did not like her. Mordin is a really interesting character, and I'm glad we have a Solarian on our team. Unfortunately, I only found his character interesting because he was a Solarian and his choice to cure the genophage in Mass Effect 3. I never picked him in Mass Effect 2 as a squad mate. Only on Tachanka with Grunt, it just seemed like a good dynamic. I didn't know Zai and Kasumi were later added as DLC. I expected whole dialogue options from them, so I was really disappointed to find out that was not the case. But in my opinion, they have the most going for them in terms of their backgrounds and personality. It's such a shame too, because Mass Effect 3 doesn't help their case either. 12 squad mates in Mass Effect 2, and I only liked like 5 of them. Having the story set up as do main missions, recruit squad mates, do loyalty missions, do endgame missions. I don't know, it felt so bad. I hate how the success of the last mission is dictated by whether or not you had loyal members of your team. Like, why does it matter how loyal a member is on your team and determines if they get shot in the face? Also, what the hell was that Reaper thing at the end of Mass Effect 2? Was that really necessary? That wasn't scary at all. I still don't understand why the Reapers harvest people and sentient beings like this. Like, it's just generic? Is that the right word? No, I'm not sure, but it's really awkward. Mass Effect 3's story is the intense scenario we hoped to prevent in Mass Effect 1, but we only delayed the inevitable as the Council, your supervisors really, did not care to pay attention to your actions in the first game. Unfortunately, I only felt like the Reapers were ready to kill everyone when I wanted them to kill everyone. This is a video game issue, and you know, it's in Mass Effect 1 and 2. The game will only progress when I do the story missions, right? That means Mass Effect progresses when I want it to. As the Reapers destroy the galaxy, I'm doing boring stuff by collecting artifacts and recovering lost Alliance vessels. It's pretty lame, to be honest, but within the story missions, really cool set pieces happen. Really cool stuff. You go to the homeworlds of many of the main species in Mass Effect, and it's really cool encountering Reapers and taking them down. I want to talk about the squad mates. James Vega is an interesting character, however, I'm being honest, I found his Spanglish to be a bit cringe, and I never ever chose him on a single mission. I found this character arc to be admirable. He sacrificed his squad for intel on the collectors, only for Shepard to destroy the collectors in the second game. He has a reason, albeit a really irrational one, to misjudge Shepard. I do like the fact that you can invite him to your cabin though, where Vega reveals he's been chosen to be part of the N7 program. I really like how he looks up to Shepard, but once again, I never chose him. He's just less interesting than other squad mates, and even Ashley and Kaidan, in my opinion.
Yeah, I never seem to get picked. Joker will come back for you. I promise.
Javik is a really cool dude. I love the protein design. They're humanoid, but still practically alien. I, however, do not like his attitude at all. People give Ashley crap for being a space racist, but Javik is a space racist. I'm not gonna lie, I cringed at the times when he said things. But he is a soldier, and with his attitude, he has a right to— not right, that's so terrible, but he gets a pass for all the horrible things that he has witnessed. I wouldn't mind him being a bit more funny when he does it though.
What do you mean by that?
Where Javik is more interesting in is his insight into the war with the Reapers. As being a Prothean, he fought them and he still lost, along with the rest of his race. Just being able to understand what happened 50,000 years ago is such a treat to listen to.
This one wishes he was still frozen in the refrigerator.
And unlike James Vega, I seriously brought Javik whenever I thought it was necessary to bring him, especially Thessia, and I thought it was fitting to bring him on the last mission, as it was a great way for him to see the war end. And before I do forget, having EDI as a squad mate is hilarious. She's more emotive than Legion, and I really appreciate being able to bring her on missions. Her relationship with Joker is cringe. I love the interactions with the squad mates and their conversations. I just wish I got more of that Mass Effect 1 magic, that early RPG magic. I never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I heard Mass Effect 1 was similar to Knights of the Old Republic, and they had wider arenas. Even on a linear planet like Pharos, I mean, most people use the Mako, but the highway was wide, and you just don't get that Mass Effect 2 and 3, and I hate that. And the ending of Mass Effect 3, wow. As soon as the kid came around, I literally zoned out the last 15 minutes of the game. I united the entire galaxy and brought the biggest combined fleet seen in galactic history. I was like, okay, I had enough of this. And I chose the destroy ending because I hate the Reapers. Even if the game was sluggish to go through with the side quests, I didn't think I would be on my phone the last few minutes of the game. With all that being said, I really enjoy playing the Mass Effect trilogy. Even with my complaints, the series has its moments of awe-inspiring set pieces and heartfelt moments with characters. Even though I felt the series lost the charm of the first game and the second and third games, I felt responsible with the actions I chose in previous installments, and owning up to them was great. I'm glad I got to play this series, and I hope you get a chance to play or revisit these games. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you want, leave a dislike if you want, comment if you want, do whatever, but that being said, I should go.